talk about the warrant served to Donald Trump and the subsequent search of his home in Florida. Now, the FBI serves search warrants on homes throughout the country every single day. Warrants are needed when law enforcement has to move quickly on a criminal investigation because they're concerned that sensitive materials might be in danger of being moved or concealed or destroyed. A search warrant does not necessarily indicate an accusation of a crime or the subject's guilt, but it does indicate a sense of urgency because it's only used when law enforcement can prove that a subpoena or a summons or a request won't work. The Justice Department and the FBI don't have the authority to act on their own. They have to get a federal judge or magistrate to approve their request. And because of the Fourth Amendment against unlawful search and seizure, they have to be very specific and convincing so that A, they can get that warrant, and B, any evidence discovered is not deemed inadmissible later in court. A search warrant must meet a very specific checklist of requirements before a judge can sign off on the decision to invade someone's home. The FBI can't just show up at your property. They have to convince a judge that they have probable cause that a crime has or is occurring. And legal experts have been very clear that not even the most liberal judge in the world would allow them to search the private residence of a former president without airtight, smoking gun, bulletproof evidence, knowing how political this search would be. In fact, the Justice Department did everything they could to keep it quiet. They published nothing. They leaked nothing. They even had their agents dressed like fellow Mar-a-Lago members so they wouldn't stand out in their FBI jackets. The only reason we know about it is because Donald Trump himself told everyone. Remember, this warrant has nothing to do with January 6th, with the big lie, with Trump's attempt to stay in power after losing the election. It has nothing to do with blackmailing Ukraine or Russian interference or tax evasion. This warrant has to do with the Presidential Records Act enacted in 1978 after the Watergate scandal that requires the preservation of White House documents as property of the U.S. government. In common speak, when you're the president, everything is recorded, saved, and belongs to the country. You can't just take things from the White House and not give them back. The warrant cited 3 things to justify the search. 1, obstruction of justice. 2, the possible mishandling of government records. And 3, and most importantly, the Espionage Act, Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 793, which says it's illegal to be in possession of national security information that could harm the United States or aid a foreign adversary. So in layman's terms, treason. What got the Rosenbergs executed in 1953. So let's be clear, this isn't about planted evidence because the FBI would have no access to top secret national security information to plant in the first place. It's not about things being classified or declassified because if it can hurt the US, it can't be in the wrong hands no matter its classification. And it's certainly not about keeping mementos because top secret information is not the same as having Shaq's shoes in your office. And it is certainly not Banana Republic behavior because this is by the book law and order stuff. Trump took things he wasn't supposed to, and when he was asked to give them back, he didn't do it. It's shady, it's deliberate, and the question is, why did he do it? Because he definitely did it. And to get that warrant signed, it's almost definitely criminal.